Welcome to week two's power rankings. I did not get into week one's power rankings, kind of getting a late start into all of this, but here we go. Just jump into it. Going into week two, I got the Minnesota Vikings, my team, Skull Baby, ranked top 10. Really, the only question mark right now is JJ McCarthy. It was, man, was it a rough first quarter going against the Bears? Or not first quarter, first three quarters. But once he threw that pick six, it kind of seemed like he's the mistake's done. The big play happened. The big fuck up happened. Here we go. Let's go win a football game. And looked less conservative. You were down 11 points. Had to be less conservative. Uh, Started moving the ball. Offensive line started to click. Christian Darrisaw was out. That was clear by the Bears pass rush. His backup gave up 4 pressures and a sack, most on the team. Only other pressure was given up by the center, I believe. So 5 pressures total, 4 by the left tackle. Hopefully, Darrisaw can come back soon. But yeah, number 10 got the comeback win over the Bears. JJ McCarthy. Hopefully, he's just getting more and more comfortable. We know it's basically his rookie. That was his first game ever in Chicago. Tough place to play. Divisional game. You liked what you saw that fourth quarter, and hopefully that's just builds and builds over the year, and they just keep rising up the ranks, is my hope as a Vikings fan. So for now, I'll have him at number 10. Just figure out that JJ area, and then the corners. We might need to sign what's his face? Sante Samuel. Free agent. His neck is a little messed up, but we need some corner help. Moving on to number 9. I know they lost, but you could just never count them out. You try to count them out every year, and they're in the Super Bowl. It is the Kansas City Chiefs. Man, did they look bad in about every single aspect except their quarterback, which is Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes and Hollywood Brown. That's about it. That is all that showed up for that game. And their run defense, I suppose. But yeah, the Chiefs did not look pretty at all. A lot similar with the Vikings until halftime. They weren't really doing much. Patrick Mahomes was making every play. Their offensive line is looking like crap, looking like the Super Bowl versus the Bucs all over again. Mahomes is running all over the place, making plays. Run game really didn't get going because the Chargers were just throwing it down their defense's throat and scoring every play, so they just had to play catch up, honestly. So that's the next concern for the Chiefs is their defense is not Super Bowl caliber, I would say. Week one. That's why you can never count the Chiefs out for being a team that lost and they're still in the top 10. But yeah, that'd be the Chiefs. Just rough looking defense, rough looking offensive line. Got injuries already going to the wide receivers, injuries and suspensions. Could turn out to be a long year. Moving on to number 8, we got the Cincinnati Bengals. Hear me out. I know they beat the Browns by 1, and it was off 2 missed kicks. But the Browns defense is really good. They're top 8 defense. They're always super duper good. And the Bengals defense sucks, to be honest. So their offense is what usually carries them. They're scoring 35 points every single game last season. I think it's going to be very similar this year. I just think divisional game versus the Browns. Browns defense is always crazy. Week 1, Bengals actually won a week 1 game for the first time in 3 years. So improvement there. I think Bengals are just going to continue to get better on offense. Hopefully their defense finds a way to stay around that top 15 in the league. Top 15, top 20 maybe if Joe Burrow is really throwing up the numbers. But overall, 8th I feel comfortable with. I think that offense is really, really good. They're just going to continue to get better. Just rough week 1 versus a really good defense. and then their defense just hopefully they hold on long enough for Joe Burrow to come back and win them games. Moving on to number 7, and kind of a big shock with how well they did. They would be the Chargers. The Chargers, they're always that team's like, oh, they have this, that, and this. Like, they could very well do something with it. And they usually don't. But, man, that looks like a very, very good Chargers team. Keenan Allen is back, looking like prime Keenan Allen. I saw people yelling at Caleb Williams, saying they won't forgive him for how bad they made Keenan Allen look. But Keenan Allen's back, accompanied with Quentin Johnson, who can catch the ball. Now, apparently, we'll see if that was a Brazil fluke. And then Ladd McConkey is always just easy. And then they got their nice little tight ends. They're just stacked all over for the wide receivers specialist group. And then when you have Justin Herbert, he's always been able to sling the ball. So, it looked very good. Their defense looks solid. When you're going against Patrick Mahomes, plays happen, and that happened quite a bit. They were up 10 points with the final 2 minutes. It's like, the game's over, and then Patrick Mahomes throws a 60-yard dime on 4th and 7. Just kind of what goes on, especially in a divisional game. And then the opposing quarterback is Patrick Mahomes. So that's why the Chargers are falling at 7. Hopefully, I like the Chargers. I hope they can keep climbing until they play the Vikings. Moving on to number 6. I know they lost, but it is the Detroit Lions. Yes, that was horrible. Is it because Ben Johnson? Who knows? To be honest, it's a little too early to tell. But that was bad. No running game at all. Barely any pass game until it was already over, and they were just giving up checkdowns the whole way of the field. The only touchdown was off a rookie one-handed catch back of the end zone. And, it's week 1 against a division opponent. Packers look really good. Really, really good. So you got to give Lions some slack. Aiden Hutchinson coming back, first game off injury. He's just going to continue to ramp up through the year, I believe. Just become his dominant self again. But Lions will fall at 6 for now. I think they'll be fine. No need to panic yet. They'll be just fine. They got another divisional game against the Bears. They should stomp them, in my opinion. Moving on to number 5, the Washington Commanders. This one's placed pretty self-explanatory. They got high hopes coming into this season after they kind of caught everyone by surprise last year. Jayden Daniels looks solid. Debo looks like he's fitting in just fine. That defense is, solid. I think the offense struggled maybe a little bit more than they should have against the Giants. Giants have a very good front line, though. But I think Terry McLaurin will get more involved here. He missed most of camp, so he'll get more involved in this next game as they play the Packers Thursday night. So they will be sitting right in the middle, top 5. On to number 4. Another team that lost. Arguably the Commanders could be over them, is the Baltimore Ravens. Man, how do you lose that game? Derrick Henry rushes for 500 yards and then costs you the game? Like, how's that work? I think the Ravens are set up really good, both sides of the ball. Yeah, the Bills scored 40 points on them. It's Josh Allen. Josh Allen is made for 40-point games. That's all he does against good teams. Chiefs, Lions, Ravens, all of them, anytime it's star-studded matchups like that, Josh Allen is scoring 40-plus if he's going to win. So, I do think the Ravens' safeties, their line is good. They got Jair Alexander at corner, Marlon Humphrey, all that. I think Ravens' defense will be just fine. And then their offense, obviously, Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, Zay Flowers went off. There's not much worry there. So they did drop a little bit because of that. They did lose, so they're in 4th. Now, rounding in our top three, and I hate saying this, is the Green Bay Packers. They looked outstanding. Run game was a little rough. Lions have a good defense, though. Man, Jordan Love was throwing the ball, spreading it around to everyone. Tucker Kraft, Golden, Reed, Rome. Not Rome, Dobbs. Oh, yeah, Romeo Dobbs. Works. I was thinking Rome Odunze when I said Rome. But, slinging the ball around, that defense, Micah didn't play much, but you could feel his impact. They seem like the real deal. And I'm excited to see them play against Commanders, mobile quarterback. Commanders showed that they ready to play. They reset from last year. Lions had a few question marks. So it'll be interesting to see the Cowboys-Redskins matchup, and I'm very excited for Thursday night. Moving on to number 2, you got the Buffalo Bills. Them at number 1 was a toss-up, to be honest. Josh Allen looks amazing. Shakir, Keon Coleman looked ready to go. James Cook didn't have a great night, but not a horrible night. Ravens defense, as I was saying, they're solid. They are a solid defense, solid rush defense. So I think everything Bills offense will continue to grow and get better, as they already are looking in midseason form. Only reason they did not get this one slot is their defense. They gave up 41 to the Ravens and really got the game handed to them. They forced a fumble on Derrick Henry, yeah, but Derrick Henry doesn't fumble. He also ran for however many yards, like 170 or something like that. Running all over him. I just don't trust the Bills defense. That is why they are number 2 instead of number 1. Leading into our number 1, we got the Philadelphia Eagles. Not a great game. Defense definitely struggled. But when you got Saquon, you got Jalen Hurts, your offense looks unstoppable, and you just won the Super Bowl, you just automatically get number 1 until you prove me otherwise. The biggest concern for them is that defense, especially at corner. CeeDee Lamb was torching them, if only he didn't have brick hands that day. And so for now, just that offense alone got the Eagles in first place. Their defensive line is great once Jalen Carter is actually not spitting on someone. And that will also help out the safety and corner situation they got going on when they can give some pressure, because there was zero pressure on Dak all game for the most part unless they were blitzing. So that will round up my week 2 power rankings. Again, I missed week 1, but from this week forward till the end of the year, we will be having weekly power rankings.